The following program may contain strong language. All of the comments and opinions expressed do not reflect the views of anyone but those making said comments. If you decide to continue listening to this program, it is assumed that you are not easily offended and have a broad sense of humor. Now that all that's out of the way, enjoy! Okay, welcome everybody to episode 12 of Mike and Billy Show, back once again. Mike Wendt here.
Billy Finnegan here.
How are you, Billy?
I'm well, Mike. How are you?
I'm not bad. I'm surprisingly rested for a Tuesday.
Rested, really?
Yes.
Well, I'm surprised that we're even in here recording on a Tuesday, considering the fact that the Bruins are on right now.
I know. And
your lifeblood revolves around the black and gold.
The DVR is recording.
Oh, so you don't want me to? You don't want me to look up
Facebook dark.
You don't want me to look up anything, which I'm doing right now.
I'm gonna be on tape delay.
Okay.
So for those of you that do depend on my updates while you're at either your work or school or whatnot, I apologize. Occasionally, these things have to happen.
I don't even watch the damn games anymore. I just go on Facebook and wait for you to.
My cousin says the same thing too.
Some of them, the updates are a little out of order sometimes, so it's like Bruins up 3-2, and then the next one is like Bruins down 2-0. You're going, wait a minute.
Yeah, the trick is to follow along on Twitter.
Oh,
Facebook's, I don't know what you would call it.
They're hockey elitists.
No, Facebook's software is just not good.
Oh, not good for the Mike went up to date.
Well, for the live updating, because
right.
they're trying to get everyone to pay for everyone else to see your shit. Like, I think the Mike and Billy Show page would be huge if we paid for it.
Huge.
You know what they want, like
$10 advertisement.
$10 a day.
A day?
A day.
That's crap.
So you saw that?
I saw it, but I thought it was $10 just for one advertisement.
It's one advertisement,
and then boom, for a day.
That one post.
Fuck that.
Will be posted.
Come on. For
$10 a day.
Zuckerberg could pay for that himself.
That's horseshit.
Zuckerberg, buy me an advertisement. I
mean, what? That's not good business.
Not at all.
I can't imagine any business paying that $10 a day is a lot of money at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Even if you buy a month's worth of advertising, and it's one post, it's not even your page.
It's just one post.
So you really got to write that shit well. You got to get your link, a picture, a really funny worded post. Make sure everything is spell checked.
So ours would just basically be all swears and then listen to the Mike and Billy Show.
Seriously. It'd be a link to one of our episodes.
Hopefully, they have to be a good one.
Hopefully, it's a good one.
And then we don't have many.
Somehow we fit a bunch of cursing in, and it would probably be denied, but they'd still take our money.
Yeah, well,
it wouldn't work.
That's all right.
I don't like it. So yes, if you do want, I guess, updates in chronological order, it would be best to follow along on the Twitter.
Okay, and you can follow the Mike and Billy Show on Twitter.
You can follow along the Mike and Billy Show on Twitter, at Mike and Billy.
Oh yeah, it's just Mike and Billy. I always think it's at the Mike and Billy.
No, I felt just...
But you're right. No,
I kept it shorter, that one.
Of course.
You got to trim the fat sometimes.
Right, and the is certainly a big fatty word.
I think I had to do that because you can only use so many characters.
Really?
For your name.
I've seen some names that are just ridiculous. And then the underscores and number... whatever. I'm off topic. I don't care.
Either way, at Mike and Billy is the Twitter for the show. Of course, my Twitter page is my name, Mike Wendt. Yours is a whole bunch of letters and numbers.
Yeah,
there's no numbers, but...
Just use Mike and Billy.
Yeah, Mike and Billy. Actually, you go to Mike and Billy... Follow there, and in the description on the Twitter page is Billy's Twitter.
at Wax Mustachic.
You can just click on it and follow it. You don't have to know how to spell it. Yeah. It's right there. We make it very easy. It's
Mike
also linked on our
Facebook
page as well.
Yes.
So, and the Facebook is facebook.com/Mike and Billy Show.
Wow.
Now that we got the business out of the way.
Well, and you know, we are also out there on iTunes and Spreaker and Stitcher.com.
It's been quite a week for the show. as far as expanding.
This is like Thanksgiving meal.
Our reach is really growing.
We are just growing in the gullet area.
Of course, the podcast originates from the Spreaker page, which of course Spreaker.com. You can also find it on the app Spreaker, home team. But this past week we also added ourselves onto iTunes.
Bam! Thank you, Steve Jobs.
iTunes and Stitcher for those of you who use either one. Of course, I would guess Android users wouldn't be using iTunes unless it's on the computer.
Probably not.
It's okay. You can still subscribe on the computer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boy.
And Stitcher as well. So we are really we're growing. We're expanding. We're becoming big boys.
And if you want to be on the show, by all means.
You just heard how to contact us. We are very track-downable here on the show.
Is that even a word?
I just made it a word.
Oh, okay.
It's a hyphenated word.
Bumfluffery.
Downable.
That's a bumfluffery.
You can even throw a hyphen in between down and a bull.
Bullshit.
So 2 hyphens, 1 big word, total awesomeness.
Whatever you say.
You know you love it.
All right.
But yeah, surprisingly, I am rested today. I think I forced myself to sleep.
Good.
Knowing that I would not only be doing this, but also staying up late to watch the Bruins on tape delay.
And quite the tape delay. But hey, you can get away from the commercials and all that.
I love
hullabaloo.
I'll probably end up catching up. That's usually what happens when when I check into like Monday Night Raw at like 9:30 or even 10 o'clock. There's so many commercials on that show. By the time I'm done fast forwarding all the commercials, I'm caught up and I'm live.
Right.
Which is the worst thing.
Because
if you're a DVR
viewer,
you know that pain. when you catch up to the live program and they go to that first commercial break and you reach for the remote and you're like, fuck, I have to watch the Eddie Money Travel commercial.
Oh, that's a great commercial because he looks like. Because I feel so good for him because it looks like
I Google it. He has not had a stroke.
Oh, he hasn't?
And he's not retarded.
Oh.
So he's just a fucking mess. Now, I say this, and like I said, I Googled it. And according to his Wikipedia, he has not had a stroke.
Not had a stroke. Did someone actually just write that in there?
They might have deleted he had a stroke just so dumbass radio people like us would use it as gospel and come on and be making fun of a stroke victim. But the information as far as I know, he's just a mess.
Did you know that also on the internet, I'm a French model?
Nice.
Because everything on the internet is true.
You gonna draw me like one of your French girls, Jack?
Yes.
That whole bit. They've been showing Titanic a lot lately on cable, why. And I won't watch it unless the tits are coming up.
But you can't because it's cable. It's
no, I mean like cable, like HBO cable.
Oh.
HBO has been showing it a lot lately, and
hello.
Yeah, I can't get into that movie unless I know in like 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be seeing that scene.
That's one of those movies where I was so against it, I hated it, never saw it, then finally saw it, and still hate it. Like, but I only watch it so I can talk shit about it. Because it's like, well, have you even tried it? Have you even seen it? Yeah, I have, and it sucks.
You know which one I did that for? Magic Mike. Yep.
Wow.
Because
you saw it because you just wanted to be known as Magic Mike now.
Well, I wanted to see if that...
It's Magic Mike Wendt here on Spreaker.com.
They were complimenting me. And apparently they're not, because it's a terrible movie. Well, and it's not just a terrible movie.
It's a Matthew McConaughey movie, so what do you expect?
It's not just it was like the biggest fucking ruse that they pulled, because when that came out, every group of women, that was like the thing.
Well, it's 50...
We're gonna go have some wine and go see Magic Mike, and there's 57 cackling hens in the theater.
It's 50 Shades of Grey on the screen.
Right.
It's just something for women to oogle at and gossip about.
The only difference is apparently they didn't do any writing, unlike the book.
Oh.
It was terrible.
Wow.
The story
I've read a few pages from 50 Shades of Grey. They didn't really do any writing either. I mean,
the ending was just... It was basically like, the movie's over. Get out. They might as well have said that, because it just ended. There was no redemption or anything.
There wasn't like Ewoks coming out and everyone partying.
There was no Num Num song.
Oh.
which it was a driving scene, so he could have had it on the radio.
I'm surprised. See?
Give a little nod to the geeks out there, all right?
Absolutely.
And of course, it did have Olivia Munn nude in it, though.
Oh.
So now you're gonna go watch, or just Google that scene.
I'm Googling that scene when I get home.
Later, we'll do like we did with the Halle Berry scene.
Yeah, that was awful. Can we not do that again?
Can we not have Billy Gunn play by play on a sex scene?
We should just have disturbing scenes just on the computer. And let's just describe them for the people at home.
But yeah. I will absolutely do the same thing. I'll watch movies knowing I'm probably not going to like them, just so I can talk shit about them. Honestly, it keeps me honest, though.
Right? Yeah.
Because it's very easy to say that movie sucks and never watch it.
Right.
But to be able to be like, it sucks, and here's why it sucks.
Well, you could, because you want to be like Timothy Olyphant and be justified.
Wow.
Yes! Stupid pop culture reference.
No, but that's another show I haven't been able to get into.
Neither have I.
But I wanted to like it. It had a lot of elements that I wanted to like.
Timothy Olyphant plays the same character in every single thing he does.
I think he's a decent actor.
He is.
I'm not going to commit to that.
He was good in Deadwood.
Oh, he's excellent. Deadwood was just excellent, period.
But again, he plays the same character in Justified pretty much. You know, I mean, like no nonsense type thing. And he's done it in a few other things.
He went from
the only difference.
He was the guy in Go, which basically turned into the guy in Girl Next Door.
But that
he goes through periods where he's
those
typecasting himself.
Those two roles are probably the only different roles that he's ever done.
Yeah, but they were the same.
But those two roles wrapped in one. Are the only. Offshoot besides this
that weren't
super
small-town
serious
sheriffs.
Character, that small town sheriff, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Like in Walking
no nonsense bullshit. He's still cool though.
Like I said, I wanted to like it.
But then he did Hitman, and that was kind of stupid.
Yeah, well, that was a video game movie. That was a paycheck.
Yeah, but Hitman itself, I'm not gonna geek out.
That was Wahlberg's Max Payne. It was a paycheck movie.
Yeah, but
they were throwing shitloads of money at it just to get it out there, just so the geeks would be able to go and bitch about another movie.
It was terrible.
Neither one, and they came from really good games, though.
Yeah.
Max Payne was a boss game.
Well, yeah, you got to make it ultra violent, though, and
it
was
PG-13 when it hit theaters. I know the DVD was R, but all they added was a couple of fucks, and they didn't really add too much to the violence.
And we just didn't have any fucks to give.
That was literally, it's like, okay, well, we've toned down the violence. Take out those 4 fucks, and we're going to make a PG-13, get the kids in there.
Yeah.
They wanted to do that with the Expendables sequel.
Yeah.
Remember that story with Chuck Norris wanting it to be PG-13 because he said he doesn't do R-rated movies?
None of his movies are ever R-rated or whatever.
Thank God Sly put the kibosh on that one.
Well, thank God people have slowly started to realize that Chuck Norris is completely overrated. He sucks.
Chuck
Norris isn't a tough guy.
joke.
You know what a tough guy is? Fucking Danny Trejo. There's a tough guy. Machete. Machete would kill any Chuck
Machete
Norris.
Doing a PG-13 movie?
Never. And you know what, Machete? Danny Trejo is an excellent flag bearer for responsibility and good Samaritanism because he plays bad guys, that always get killed, or always have their comeuppance because he wants kids to find out that discover in his movies.
Did you just watch a Danny Trejo interview or something?
No, this is true. I know this.
Again?
I know this. He plays bad guys that get their comeuppance because he wants people to know that crime doesn't pay and you shouldn't be a bad guy. So that's why Danny Trejo always plays the same type of character. That's what he has said in interviews.
Huh. So you have been watching Danny Trejo interviews?
Shut up.
Look, don't read anymore.
Machete kills.
Reading
Coming
is dangerous.
Soon. I can't wait. It's gonna be the greatest.
Excellent.
It's gonna be the greatest, and then there's gonna be Machete in Space, and it's gonna be the greatest trilogy since Back to the Future. Boom! I said it. Thank you. I found
Machete
a new
in Space
holy
is
trilogy.
A dangerous
No, it's gonna be
road
awesome.
to go down.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You can't. That's like the Expendables. You can't go wrong. You know what type of movie you have. And that's why Machete is a great movie because no matter what, he slices open a guy, he slices open a guy's stomach, takes him by the entrails, and jumps out the window and slides
Does
back
the John
into the next
McClane
one.
fucking fire hose bit with the entrails.
And you're telling me you can't go wrong in that? Like, it's like,
And you're telling me you're gonna have a problem with him going to space.
That makes total sense. Yeah, of course he could go to fucking space. And you know what? He's gonna slice open an alien's entrails, jump out. He's gonna go somehow land on the Hubble telescope, jump back in.
Saturn to
oh
Mars.
my god, it's gonna be fantastic. You can't go wrong. Fuck yeah, Danny Trejo. You could do anything you want. Danny Trejo over Chuck Norris any day. Boom, done, gospel.
Yeah, but okay, I'm not even gonna argue that.
Fuck yeah.
I just can't wait for the samurai scene with him and Mel Gibson. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
Sword fight, Mel Gibson, Danny Trejo, and they got Chuck Sheen as the president of the United States. This is why I love Robert Rodriguez. A man makes movies with balls.
But again, then you had De Niro in the first one. You had Michelle Rodriguez. You had all these Don Johnson. You had all these people coming out.
Big Daddy Don Johnson.
I'm sorry, but you had all these people coming out for this movie. Danny Trejo is starring, and now you have Charlie Sheen. You've got Mel Gibson
Lady
coming
Gaga
out.
in her first
Lady Gaga.
real acting role.
Everything looks awesome. It's so cool. If I was a director, I'd be Robert Rodriguez. That's
we have faith in the movie when two people like us are praising Lady Gaga.
Oh yeah,
it's like I saw the poster and I'm like,
oh, she looks so good.
Looks awesome.
She looks so good.
And I hate pretty much everything she does. I think she's obnoxious, and not like the cool kind of obnoxious. It's the obnoxious.
The cool kind. What kind of cool?
I'm the cool kind of obnoxious.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. I don't really find you obnoxious.
You were
very
with me
loud
Sunday
and
night.
overbearing. Yes, I know. I was there Sunday night. Oh my God, just drunken Mike. Yelling about randomness. That's all I heard. There was no actual words. It was just jumbled mess.
I probably shouldn't have gone to Hooters before
No.
the Royal Rumble.
No. It was still funny though. Actually, the line of the night was when our buddy was talking about his theories and his whole ideas of how I Met Your Mother is going to end, and I'm actually genuinely interested. I'm going, really? That's what you think? Yeah, it's gonna be like this, and I think Barney's really dead, and I think this and that, and then there's just a small pause, and then Mike, just from out of the blue, just goes, "We're talking about that show," and it was just like, you couldn't help but laugh because he was seriously. Why he was looking at us in his drunken phase, just like, why are we even talking about this?
It was one of those things.
What are we doing here? I could be drinking right now or passed out.
I probably mentally checked out for the whole conversation, and it was one of those things.
Yeah, and then you come back in.
I
it was
came
like
back
tunnel
to
vision.
consciousness, clicked in. It's like, wait a minute. Well, I've been away. You guys have been talking about this.
But again, you were standing right there. It was like it was tunnel vision. It was like the light at the end of the tunnel. You're trying. You're almost there. And then when you finally get out of that tunnel, you come in. It's like we're talking about How I Met Your Mother. What are you, fucking stupid? That's the look that you had on your face. But it was like a little Eddie Money look. Like it looked like you just had a stroke because you were listening to us for a minute. And you just 2 tickets to paradise.
You have hurt my brain.
Yeah.
More than I ever could.
Yeah. But anyway, Machete. Yeah. So boom, Danny Trejo, awesome. Eddie Money sucks. Chuck Norris sucks. Titanic sucks. And I'm just reviewing for everyone right now. And we swear a lot, so boom.
I love that. Yes, if you do follow along on the internet with us, you realize that Billy coined our tagline.
Well, I can't come up with it. It was a friend of
stole it
ours
from somebody
yeah.
else, but I'm going to give you credit because I saw it on your page first. That's how I do.
I know.
It's new to me. I don't care. I don't care if Shakespeare wrote it. If you said
I haven't
it first,
seen it. It's new to me.
Right. Yes. The Mike and Billy show. We swear a lot.
That's pretty much our. And another friend of ours. Actually, I forget how the correspondence went, but maybe next week I'm going to try to think of it. We'll bounce ideas off each other's head. But next week we're going to come out with the Mike and Billy, the new list of the 7 dirty words that only Mike and Billy can say on the Mike and Billy show.
We're gonna try to hitch on to Carlin's fucking star and do this the Mike and Billy 7.
I think we can completely update that. The list needs to be updated.
Does it?
You could say piss now on the radio.
Oh, that's true.
You could say
shit on almost every television show.
Every show, yeah. The only one you really can't say is fuck and cunt. And,
yeah.
Cocksucker too. Tits is on television.
Yes. The Rock has made tits PG friendly apparently.
Yeah. So I mean,
I love that. That's the strangest thing. He has said tits for about a month straight on national television on a PG rated show, and done dick jokes, and ball jokes.
We're talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right?
Yes.
He's the second coming of the Polynesian gods.
I thought he was the Scorpion King.
Polynesius. He is the Scorpion King.
He's the Scorpion King.
See, you don't fuck with the Scorpion King.
Of course not. He'll
That's
say
why he could do that
in some made-up language.
Yeah. So I mean, he can get away with saying tits. So
amazing.
If he could get away with Fast and Furious 5 and 6, he can get away with saying tits.
Although that is something. I got to give him a little bit of credit. He revived that dead fucking franchise.
Dead? What are you talking about? Those are fantastic. I'm sorry, I can't even say that.
Stop. But anyway, yeah. We watched WWE's Royal Rumble.
Yes. This is it, wrestling fans.
This is your moment.
You're
going to have about 2 minutes. But yeah, I thought it was a fun show.
Yeah.
I thought the Royal Rumble was a fun show because I think we all committed to the fact that we knew the outcome of the two main events.
100% predictable and still 100% fun. Plus the fact, I think
we made it a little bit more fun than the average viewer because we had a bunch of people together. We were doing a pool.
Which I didn't know that a lot of other people do that. They do pools for the Rumble matches.
Really?
Yeah, because
this is the first time I've ever done one.
I was talking to someone, downstairs, and they did it as well. This guy is a much, a ridiculous wrestling fan, and he knows a little too much. And so his list and everything, he was like, he told me, I basically said to my friends, like, I'm going to fill this out, but, I'm not going to win. I don't want your money because I know exactly what's going to happen.
That's
like, he's really good at it. But yeah, it was fun. It was different. It was, it was like doing squares at Super Bowl.
Sure.
But something that I'm into, and I was with people that are really into it, and it was different because it wasn't squares. It was, we kind of made it up on the fly.
There was an interesting little point system that's way too much math for my brain to handle.
But you know what? When we actually sat there and did it, it was like, okay, sense. I get it. I understand what we're doing
just it.
now.
You need to dumb it down for me. He handing me 3 sheets of paper with words and numbers. I'm just like, here, take my money. I'll fill out this list and tell me if I win.
Right.
And the guy who won wasn't there.
And the guy who came in second place wasn't there either.
And then I was third.
Shut up. By 2 points you beat me. By 2 fucking points.
2 points. And I found it funny that because
Mike was drunk the whole time, just yelling incessantly.
I didn't fill the sheet out drunk. I mean, I actually put some thought into it.
No, you didn't. You had Billy Gunn as 2.
That was yeah, exactly.
No,
imagine how wonderful that would have been.
Because you were the only person that wants to see Billy Gunn.
Versus Dolph Ziggler?
You were the only person.
Come on.
You were the only person.
That's a natural.
That is a backstage vignette, and that is it.
That's a 2-minute match before Jericho comes out.
No, you don't want it.
Yes,
Who
you
wants
do.
That? That's like
me.
That's like. Oh, you know what? I'm really.
I would have wanted them to book for me.
No, that's like. You know what? I'm really craving a Mr. Hughes return.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, that's right. I just dropped Mr. Hughes. Yeah. You know what I'm really waiting for? Mr. JL. Jerry Lynn's masked persona. That's what I really want.
That's horrible.
You know what I want? Barry Horowitz right now.
Well, see, I think I'd accept that. That's kind of up there with the Barry Horowitz is kind of like the Brooklyn Brawler now. It's just Barry Horowitz doesn't work with the company, so we don't see him quite as much as we do the Brooklyn Brawler.
Well, the reason why you can't have Barry Horowitz out there anymore is because Goldberg he set the bar high for the Jewish pro wrestler because Barry Horowitz had said it's so damn low in the beginning.
You thought it couldn't go any lower, and then Gilbert.
But Gilbert, I don't even think he wasn't even Jewish. It was just Gilbert because it was a parody of Goldberg. It was Dwayne Gill. So really,
That's right.
He saved. He didn't really do anything to the Jewish pro wrestler.
Swing and a miss.
So you got Goldberg up there, and still you got a guy like Colt Cabana who kind of lowered it a little bit, considering they named him Scotty Goldman, but he's building the reputation back up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why I'm sticking up for the Jewish pro wrestlers right now.
I don't think he is.
Sure he is.
Is he?
He's out there.
Barry Horowitz?
Oh, no. Colt Cabana.
No.
Shut your face.
But yes, I was really upset that no Billy Gunn.
Yeah, well, can't always get you what you want. So, I don't know why you wanted that. And the funny thing was, the drunker you got, the more violently demanding you were that Billy Gunn was coming.
This is a surprise.
I really thought that a Mike Wendt fist was going to go through the television if he didn't get
that was protest. Probably the only good thing about me going to Hooters before coming over.
That was a good thing?
Yes, and because I had put myself in a state where I couldn't move. No, and a little bit more of a backstory.
That's true because all I heard the whole night, besides from Mike's lips, all I heard was, "Where's Billy Gunn?" or "Billy, get me another beer." All right, Mike, I guess I was
asking a little bit more politely.
Yes, you did.
I was asking a little bit more politely than that.
You said, "Can you hand me a beer, please?"
Yes, and you were sitting on the cooler, basically.
I was not. You never sit on the cooler because the Coors Light,
next to it, at least.
Because the Coors Light guys have to climb up the mountain to get you that cold Coors Light that they grabbed in the Arctic tundra and then bring it out to. Who writes that advertising bullshit? Anyway, yes, you were very polite. Sorry,
I was a little bit more polite than that, but yeah, and it being a Sunday, of course, I hadn't slept.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Since
that was your worst day. The day before.
Probably 10 p.m. the night before.
Yeah.
So I went 25 straight hours.
Oh, it was fun.
Awake.
It was fun.
Which makes you delusional to begin with.
Yes.
Now you add a few hours at Hooters with those giant towers of beer.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the giant breasts in your face.
Actually,
although you're in Saugus, so I guess
we were in Saugus, and our waitress was very attractive.
How was she at waitressing?
Terrible.
Oh, okay.
Horrible.
That's how they usually are. But anyway.
But my buddy did something, and he's recently married, and he did something. I don't remember what it was, but she was standing at the end of the table and went, ugh. Like, he did something so vile that someone in the service industry was willing to forego her tips just to show her disgust with him. and I think she realized it, but I made sure to hammer the point home. I go, you see that? You see what she did? Now that you have that wedding ring on, you don't have to give a shit if she's disgusted by you. You don't have to impress her.
Absolutely.
And I think it was that moment that she realized that she better clean up her act, or she ain't getting a tip, because we don't care if she likes us or not. The table over there thinks they're going to date you.
Right.
We all over here.
We're engaged or
see, and the funny thing was
married.
the whole table. This was part of we all gave our significant others a girls' night out for Christmas.
Right.
This was that night. So everyone at the table was in a committed relationship. So basically, you got a table of 6 guys with nothing to lose attitudes.
They're just looking at that waitress like, yeah, honey, you're just spank bank material. That's it.
Look,
we know we're not going anywhere with you. Trust me.
20 years ago and about 50 pounds, maybe I would have given a shit about impressing you. But I am too far gone of giving a shit about myself to care about you. But yes, quite a couple hours of that. And then I showed up.
Oh, it was great. It was a fun time.
I had a great time. And I mean, we could really get into the geek shit if we wanted to, but yeah, I'm not. I think they should at the least the punk rock match should have ended differently.
Ended what?
Ended differently. I feel that they have 2 more months to put the belt on the Rock.
Yeah.
So giving it to him right away it's a little too easy.
You're not going to get an argument from me there.
I know I'm not going to get. I wish you were a Cena fan or
Oh, you
a
want me
Rock
to do that?
fan.
You want me to do that? Then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because I want to respect you at the end of the day. And I just couldn't if you somehow justified.
I can get back into my 12-year-old mentality. Hold on a second.
The funny thing is that their lack. It seems like they don't understand what they have on their hands. They book The Rock in the main event in a title match. Mm-hmm. They already have the money.
Yeah.
They got the asses in seats. They got the pay-per-view dollars. You don't need to give him the title to make it a worthwhile show.
No, because again,
and
like you said, the money's already there.
Right.
It's done. It's a done deal. You can do whatever the hell you want after that.
Show.
Yeah.
And you might lose a couple dollars, but
I don't know. Because you can always have that card subject to change at the bottom of every pay-per-view.
You do.
It can always happen. That's what I always loved about, not only pro wrestling, but your boxing and your UFC,
even
and
music
everything.
For that matter.
Even what?
I think every Guns N' Roses ticket used to come with that as well.
Cards. You hope it did.
Lead singer subject to change.
For just for Axl's sake, you hope he put that on there. But I always love that because for some reason no one's argued with it. It's just
how could you?
It's just a perfect everyone just takes it as. It's like I agreed to these terms and agreement. It's like. I read everything. Yeah. It's, they did say card subject to change.
The human error is what that's factoring in.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, somebody could die. You can't really ask for a refund if that guy doesn't show up that night.
Well, you could if he showed up for the night and he died there.
I don't think you'd ask for your money back that day. You keep that ticket and eBay it like 20 years later.
I think a lot of people ask for their money back and whatnot after.
Really? I still have Over the Edge. What was it, 99 on VHS?
That's what I'm saying. I watched that. The news. I was watching that because when I used to watch the pay-per-views or, and I didn't have the black box or whatever, and it was before streaming online. Mm-hmm. I used to watch the pay-per-views like some people watch scrambled porn. Like I used to put them on, and sometimes you could kind of see what was going on.
That was like real old school. You were like listening to a radio broadcast.
Yeah,
almost.
It was basically like listening to a radio broadcast of the pro wrestling pay-per-view.
Right.
And I had put that on, and I remember I was watching it in my parents' bedroom, and there was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of silence and a couple things. So I'm going, what the hell's going on? And I flipped it to the news, and on the news report,
they were that quick. Really,
they were pretty quick with it.
Wow.
It was probably 10 minutes after it happened.
Sure.
But on the news report, this just in, pro wrestler Owen Hart falls to his death, and I went, whoa, no way! And then flip back, and you hear Jim Ross talk about it, and it was just. That sucked. That was one of the worst moments.
That was back in my. That was back when I was working real jobs and making really decent money, way more than I should have been making at that age. So I was buying every one of them. And,
but they were cheaper then. Too.
Well, they were like
$30.
That was in your house. So it was only $20 at that time, I think.
Right, but still, it was like $20,
$20 to
$30.
Yeah, and that was tough.
Well, it was tough because how do you recover from that? And luckily they did.
Because
that was in the creme de la creme age of pro wrestling, and still they were able to recover up all the way. They were able to somehow recover from that, but all the way up until now with the Benoit thing. The Benoit thing really sent wrestling back down to the gutter.
I saw a video the other day, and I'm guessing it's from Comic-Con, so it must have been last year. Where it was Punk, Sheamus, and Zack Ryder, and somebody asked him why they were trying to erase him.
Yeah.
And you know what? Up until this very point, I had never really that was the best answer I've ever heard anybody give. Mm-hmm. Punk's answer was basically they're not trying to erase him, but they're not going to use him to promote anything.
Right.
Which makes complete sense. Well, and I never thought of it that way. I was always like. Because, of course, I mean, he did great. He was a part of a great era of wrestling. Mm-hmm. And I was actually, last Saturday night watching some of the stuff like when the Radicals debuted.
Yep.
And that shit. And it was one of those YouTube vortexes of you started on like
You started
one thing.
on chimpanzees, and then
Really,
next thing you know,
I think I
you're
started on a
Doink the
Bruins
Clown.
video and somehow
Yeah.
ended up watching Benoit matches. But it was oh, you know what it was? I watched ECW One Night Stand 06.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The second
We
one.
were talking about this.
And I watched the second one, and then that bled into watching, which amazingly, all these things are in full length videos on
Oh,
YouTube.
it's awesome.
I love
It's
it.
awesome.
So, which was always my argument of why would the company try to whitewash something that you can't erase because of the internet? You'll never be able to erase those matches. Like he existed.
Right. But like you said,
But
and like what was
answer makes
said,
complete sense.
yeah, we obviously wouldn't use him for promoting purposes. The only people that use murderers and rapists and serial killers for promotional use are news outlets.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the music industry, but yeah, news
And
outlets
the
as
music
well.
I mean, you're still promoting a big selling point for, what was it, the Grammys, or one of the last award shows was Chris Brown's performing. A convicted or a known woman beater
Have you ever
is
watched-
promoted for a show.
You ever watch those
The
honest trailers on YouTube?
yeah.
Basically, that would have been the honest trailer for that promo would have
mean,
been Chris Brown's first performance
since
beating the
beating
shit
Rihanna.
out of his girlfriend and getting arrested for it.
I mean, okay, so whereas pro wrestling has been completely looked down upon by everyone else, here they are. They're trying to do, and believe me, I got my own quarrels with the Be a Star thing and
Sure.
the other, because like if you're gonna promote Be a Star, then you shouldn't have your top guy bullying other talents in the storyline setting. You have all these things in there. They're trying to make themselves a pretty decent program out there they're trying to go PG. They're trying to do this for the kids. They're doing all these things, and it's like they're trying to take. Yes, they're trying to erase a person from history, but they're trying to do it with good intention.
Right.
And yet they're still looked down upon. But your usual news coverages, and Chris Brown is still all over the place, and all these other things that are out there in the regular news media, and no one just bats even an eyelash over it.
It's amazing.
It's such
It's a testament
speak.
to the backwards forgiveness of the film and music industry.
Yeah.
That it's it's basically, if you can make us money, we don't give a shit.
Well,
We don't give a shit
absolutely.
what you did.
Well, look at and I hate to harp on this because I know he wasn't convicted or anything, or I don't even think he actually did it, but he was around it. Was Ray Lewis? I mean, you talk about Super Bowl coming up. Ray Lewis,
yeah.
He was involved in the
acquitted,
murder.
but yeah.
He was acquitted of the murder, but everyone just forgets about it. Like the main media forgets
Except
about
for
it.
people who are playing against him.
Except
then
for
it's
people
a nice
who
little
play-
punchline
yeah.
for your wife.
And it's like you forget it. It's like you just give it 2 years. It's like, I wonder if these people, their agents and the PR people, just give it like 6 months. It'll go away.
Sure.
Don't worry about it, and you'll be back on top.
Lay low.
I mean, how many people are like that these days? Or like, okay, here you go. Michael Jackson, the whole Michael Jackson thing. Everyone, it was he's a child rapist, or he's touching kids and all this stuff. Jackson dies, he's a saint now. You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
like, it's just the quick forgiveness of everyone.
It's something that it goes to obviously people's connection with it, and Jackson was that. He was in that untouchable state because he amassed such a huge fall, and he was Elvis category.
Yeah.
Like Elvis died. I'm a huge Elvis fan.
Yeah.
I know he was a drug addict.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yet there are people that are like, oh, Elvis never did drugs. There are those people who are just that blinded by the fact that his music or his excellent motion pictures touched them somehow.
Oh my! You couldn't even say that with a straight face.
But, And I do like some of his movies.
Oh, they're terrible.
For guilty pleasures. I'll be honest, they're guilty pleasures.
Yeah, you know, it's like watching a John Waters movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's bad, but it's kind of good.
It's campy.
Yeah.
They were very campy. But there are those people that were so affected by what he did professionally that they blinded themselves to what he did personally.
But it's just...
And some of the personal stories, if you're able to separate the two and realize that Elvis was who he was, some of those personal stories are funny as shit.
Well, yeah.
Like him playing cops and robbers just randomly late at night in Memphis. Like he was setting up speed traps.
But again, he can do that.
You know,
or he could.
He fired some guy who worked for him, and the dude stole apparently naked pictures of Priscilla, some money and jewelry. Elvis stopped a plane on the tarmac from taking off, and not a private jet, mind you, a commercial airline.
But of course he could, because he's Elvis.
And he walked on the plane, and of course he dresses like a goddamn superhero. He's got the cape and the buckles and the badges. And it's like, that's one of those things. It's like, that's a moment in time where there's probably 200 people on that plane that now have that story, and it's just like, this really just happened.
But again, those 200 people, it's Elvis just stopped our plane. You know, it's not like you know, Joe Schmo just some crazy person. It's like, well, that crazy person happens to be Elvis.
That's one of those things. It's like this is real life.
You know who's really approached that, and not to get off topic here, but who's approached that
because we're good at staying on topic.
Who's approached that level? He's not the king.
Sure.
But Bill Murray's on that level of he does random wacky things where it's like it's okay because Bill Murray. But anyone else just breaks into your party, into your wedding,
almost, where it was a very popular meme for a while. Was this girl and her friend sitting in a restaurant or a bar in New York, and Bill Murray walked up to them, took a French fry, dipped it in ketchup, ate it, looked down and said, "Nobody's ever going to believe this story," and walked away.
Well, and the other one was no, I don't know if that's true or not. People in New York have been saying that someone will come up to them behind them and put their hands over their eyes, say, "Guess who?" And you know, they'll take a couple guesses, and then the hands will come over, out. Off the eyes, they'll turn around and it's Bill Murray. "Oh my God, you're Bill Murray," and no one's gonna believe you.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah. So I can understand you get to that type of or that level of celebrity or level of. It's almost like a folk hero, but he's not really a hero of anything. He's just on that level of enigma.
And the difference, I think, the bigger difference between the Bill Murray stories and like the Elvis or Michael Jackson stories, because a buddy of mine actually had a Michael Jackson story I'll get to in a second, is Bill seems to be doing it for his own amusement.
Yeah.
Where they were just weird.
Yeah, they
were just weird guys that was, the world got to experience that.
Well,
but Bill seems to be doing it for like,
because he's bored.
Why not?
Because he's bored. Because he can.
Yeah, he can.
Right.
Why not have a little fun? If nothing else, I've afforded myself a life that I can now enjoy without any consequences, really. I can get drunk and drive a golf cart down Manhattan.
Right.
Sure, it'll be funny. It'll be funny. I'll pay the fine.
But again, it's like.
But
oh yeah, that's right. Jacko's
just
story.
real quick. My buddy was he was a little kid, and his family took a trip to Disney World, and they were just walking through the Magic Kingdom, and my buddy saw Michael Jackson walking, a group of children, some security guards and stuff. It was the normal picture you always saw with Michael Jackson, that he never traveled.
The PR picture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he was just, and he was relatively being left alone. Like, he was with his group of people. My buddy's dad wasn't paying attention. All of a sudden, catches him out the corner of the eye, does a double take, and goes, "Look, it's Michael Jackson!" He was that guy that caused the riot in Disney World. He caused everyone to rush him. Like, Michael was just having a nice day in the Magic Kingdom. And I'm sure eventually he would have been spotted. But my buddy's father was the one who caused it. And it was like, he didn't even do the, like, I say the now good parent would be, take your kid up, get a picture, then make a scene.
Yeah.
That was his instinct to just blow up.
Dummy. Dummy. At least take care of yourself first and your
Exactly.
kid.
But
And
of course, back then we weren't all, celebrity picture conscious. It probably would have taken half an hour just to wind the film.
That's true. Yeah, you didn't have a cell phone.
Hang on a
and-
second. I got to get the battery pack for my video camera,
Right.
my 8mm film.
Right, they just hunch right onto your shoulder.
Michael, can you stand still? The lighting's off on my 8mm film camera here. Remember that shit? My mother had a 8mm camera. She used to.
I never had the 8mm. I had the big boxy thing that looked like a boombox on your shoulder.
We eventually matured to that. In the early '80s, our mostly Christmas, but our home movies in general were on the 8mm, and we had the big, because it's a fucking film camera, we had the big floodlights set up every Christmas morning for about the first 10 to 15 minutes,
to me,
so she could get those shots before the house caught on fire.
To me, that just reminds me of, like, the Bundys, Fox viewing positions, and
Yes.
All right, Christmas. All right, you know the drill. Set up the lights.
It was exactly that.
Mike, you're pointing. No, get in the light, Mike. Mike, get away from your hockey stuff.
Cheat to the camera.
Yeah.
Cheat to the camera.
Well,
that's exactly what it was.
And that's why you always love movies.
She held us at bay Christmas morning while the lights were being warmed up.
Oh.
The generator was warming up the lights, and she's
cranking
getting the 8mm film loaded in.
Oh my God.
And then all of a sudden, Christmas morning happens, and I haven't watched those videos since I was very little, but I know we got them transferred to DVD eventually. So I mean, they held up. We still have them.
Wow.
That was many years ago, back in like the.
What'd you have to do? Did you have to
we
transfer from 8mm to VHS and then VHS to DVD?
I think we sent it to a place, and I'm guessing. I think they can just run it through the computer. They can transfer from film to digital.
Cool.
The
technology, man.
Yeah, I thought of going back and adding 3D effects to my Christmas movies, but I
figured why not just go back and take the Michael Bay effect,
Well, I was gonna add a digital Jabba the Hutt. But I felt Jar Jar Binks would clash with my brother's humor.
Right. Well, you could have just reworked it like Blade Runner or something.
Yes.
Maybe.
The 14th director's cut of Blade Runner.
Right,
that's the one that's going to work.
That's,
Speaking of which, I read this week there's been a bit of Star Wars news because J.J. Abrams signed on to be the director of Episode 7.
Yes, the new savior.
But what I read, and I'm actually kind of happy about, is they've put the 3D re-releases of the past 6 movies on the shelf.
Oh, because
Phantom Menace came out.
We desperately need those.
Well, they were doing it, of course, and it was Lucas lining his pockets because he lacked originality, and he had nothing else to do. So it's like, I'll just re-release these ones. This was before Disney bought it, and they released Phantom Menace in 3D. It was terrible.
Of course, well, it was terrible when it first came out.
It wasn't terrible. It was the Phantom Menace. We all know that. I don't need to review the Phantom Menace. I think everybody's seen it. Because that was the one everybody went to see.
Why do you kill Darth Maul in the first movie? That was a great bad guy. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Dumb. He could have at least gone to the second movie, halfway through the second movie.
I think he would have punched up the second movie a bit. That was weak.
Well, you mean the movie that they sat there talking for 2 hours?
Hey, it was important to add that weird, awkward love story in the fields.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was the hey, let's take what's going on in the country and the whole political scene and just put it into a movie. And then afterwards, we'll have Yoda just jump around a bunch of times and throw shit.
But yeah.
And then Yoda uses his lightsaber first. Mm-hmm. It's like Greedo.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing all over again. It's like, why is Yoda doing that? Yoda believed in the Force and peace, and why is he? No, why Yoda put it away? Put it away. Stop it. Fuck you, Lucas.
I
don't even
that
care.
quiet shaman who sits peacefully for many, many years and then murders 72 people.
Yeah, no, see,
in one night.
Star Wars, I just don't care anymore. Don't care. Give me Back to the Future and Machete.
Yeah, but Back to the Future and Machete.
That's it. That's what I'll believe in. Fuck you, Lucas.
I'd love for them to release Back to the Future again in the theaters.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Clean. They did it with Indiana Jones. They released and they didn't add anything new. They didn't edit anything out.
No, just clean it up.
Make it 3D.
No, just clean it up.
They cleaned it up, put it out, put Raiders out on IMAX, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I missed that. I wanted to go to it, but
it was awesome, and that's what they instead of remaking. I think we've done this before, but instead of remaking all these movies, and who cares at this point? They're not doing them justice, and they're just going to keep churning them out every 5 to 10 years. There'll be another fucking movie.
Just put, you know what they should do is
just clean them up.
Clean them up, yeah. But the one that I could definitely go see in theaters would be Fast Times. Yeah, that'd be nice, just so I could see Phoebe Cates.
And
really
the thing
blown
is,
up.
they do the problem with our house. There was actually a news story the other day that because the film industry is doing away with film projection completely. Like these small art houses, like Coolidge Corner, it's like they're maybe going to go out of business type of thing because of the excessive amount of upgrades they need. Like I think it's like something like $100,000 or something.
I just went to a theater that it was digital, so it wasn't it was a projection, but they were running it on a freaking DVD, what I was watching. So it was like on the computer. And first off, the sound was all off in the beginning, and then it's like, all right, we got to start this over again. And and then they tried again, and then it's like it would speed up and slow down. Or it would just pause because the computer's low. It's like,
what were you watching?
It was a Clash documentary.
Oh, okay.
But still, it's like, why you're going to go to that? Like a projection, like, okay, when it's broken, it's broken. It's broken. It's on fire. The film's on fire. But, those, it's like you put them on, you knew, and you had an operator to do it. It's like, again, you're ruining it with the promise that technology is going to make everything easier. And it doesn't. Yeah. It really doesn't.
Well, and I mean, that's going to be the big thing, because a lot of those smaller theaters, their bread and butter really is these specialty nights. Where am I going to go for that Rocky Horror Picture Show? The Rocky Horror. I mean, they've already moved.
Really?
The big show has moved over to the Boston Common Theater, which is obviously upgraded. It's a very nice facility, but they moved from Harvard Square over to the big theater. I mean, it's going that way and it loses. I think it loses a little bit. I haven't seen it in the Boston Common Theater. I can't review it. I'm sure it's still very nice and they do a good production, but it loses that intimacy.
Certainly.
And that I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to say dirty feeling, but kind of. You know what I'm saying?
The filthiness?
Not perverted dirty, but just like...
The grunge?
Yeah.
The grit?
Yeah.
The grime? Yeah.
Loses its character.
Character. There you go.
There you go. I mean...
That's like saying she's got a nice personality.
I mean, because
when really you're saying she's fat.
Right. Exactly.
It's got character. Oh, it's disgusting theater.
If they have to, all these theaters have to do $100,000 projection upgrades.
Yeah, and
they're gonna have to jack up the ticket. Or I mean, who buys food at the movies? If in 2013, if you're bitching about the prices of food in the movies, it's like bitching about the price of food at like a ball game or something like that. Just get over it. It's not going to change.
It's not even good food. Why? Just bring your own, Seriously. Like everyone else does.
Jock a Big Mac and go in there.
I mean, really, look, I worked in a movie theater. You don't want the popcorn. No. It's not great. Usually it's popped the day before, so that's pretty much stale popcorn that you're eating. You certainly don't want any of the hot dogs or anything like that.
Nope. Those have been on the rollers since about 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right. The only thing you really can eat there is the candy. And the candy's overpriced anyway, and you can go get cheaper candy, down the street at CVS.
The only time I would consistently buy food at a movie was when I was working at a theater, and I would make my own tray of nachos.
Oh, of course.
That's it.
Because if you're making your own, it's great.
That's the only thing I would do. The rest of it was either bringing in Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's or something like that.
You could bring in so much better stuff than what you're getting served, at the theater itself. And believe me, you think you want the Clearasil kid behind the counter bringing you some nachos? You don't know where his hands have been. They've probably been, in places no one else will ever touch.
The funny thing is, and that's kind of
it's gross.
When I was working in a restaurant, somebody told me this, that people in majority, exceptions to every rule, but most of the time, if you're working in a restaurant, the people without the gloves actually have cleaner hands than the ones with them.
Oh, I imagine that.
Because if you're not wearing gloves, you instinctively wash your hands more often. If you have gloves on, think about it. You put on a pair of gloves, and you're touching 47 different meals before you change those gloves. And you're touching trays, and you're touching doors, and you're touching this. And you think just because you're wearing gloves, you're safe.
You're safe, yeah.
You're very safe from whatever the germs are.
Good point.
But the dude getting his burger is eating the last 12 meals.
Well, some people might like that. They like the combination of flavors and,
It's one of those man versus food challenges.
Right.
Here, eat this and tell me if you go blind in a half hour.
I can't see. I think I have syphilis too. Oh my God. And a cold. And the avian flu. Well, it's unfortunate. The one thing that I wish would come back, and I know living in New England, it's tough to do with the weather. But I remember as a kid, and I think probably my generation was the very last to do so because they started closing them down, was drive-thrus or drive-ins.
Drive-ins, yeah.
A drive-in movie is like, it was
I believe
so
there's
much fun.
one in New Hampshire I've heard of.
There's still one in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And they they have a Facebook page. So I'm like, okay, they're definitely open still because
you hope.
Well, they keep updating it. It's the rustic. Yeah, I checked the last post. Obviously they're not doing it in the wintertime.
Sure.
But that is a lost art. That's just a lost fun Friday, Saturday night. And you get the double feature. You get all these fun things. Again, you go, you have a cooler. You bring maybe a barbecue or something. You're hanging out. My favorite was always the pickup truck with you get the pickup truck with the couch or something in the back, or everyone's got sleeping bags, and you're just hanging out. And my dad and my uncle would take us 5 or 6 kids. And you're just going and hanging out, and the best part was they'd take us to the PG movie, but Terminator is playing over there, and so they would face us. They would face us towards the PG movie,
right.
But we'd convince them to turn the radio, because that was the cool thing, was now they're tuned into radios.
Sure.
You turn the radio on to Terminator, and we just turn around and watch the rest of some awesome R-rated sci-fi movie.
Right.
I mean, that's something that kids don't understand.
Remember
how
people
much
had
fun that
attention
was.
spans before cell phones,
Wow.
where you could actually sit through a double feature.
Oh, man.
Imagine trying to get a kid to sit through 2 movies.
No.
Outdoors.
And that was the other thing, is you could be as loud as you wanted.
Yeah.
You could be you could have a whole gaggle of obnoxious people around you.
What I think those have turned into is
strip malls.
no, I don't mean for as far as movies.
Walmarts.
The
Kmart.
the dine-in movies now.
Yeah.
That's kind of like this generation's drive-in, because it's kind of it's a little bit off the norm.
It's just a little different.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
And I dig them, especially the ones that have the separate level.
Well,
Like I know going
deluxe.
very local for those of you not living in Boston, but the one in Dedham has the Lux level, and it has a full bar upstairs. Like you have to have a ticket to go up into this lounge.
Well, and
you have the lounge, then you go in, and the coolest part about them is you're in like a balcony section of the movie theater.
Yeah.
And your chairs have like flight attendant buttons. So instead of having a waitress wandering around throughout the movie, they kind of do a last call type of thing when the previews are starting. But if during the movie you want another drink or you want some more chicken fingers or something, you push that button.
Do you have like a chicken finger button and like a French fry button?
And she comes in and is like with a little, little LED light, like, what would you like, sir? And I would like another Jack and Coke. Snap.
And then she looks at you and you lush.
You've had enough.
What if it was like it's like, what would you like, sir? I'd like you to reach into my popcorn. I got a little bit of a surprise for you. Like, do you get like that full experience?
No, you don't.
Everyone always wanted.
I haven't experienced the full. I think the VIP ticket gets you the reach around.
Right.
Yeah.
You get the extra butter on the popcorn.
Right. Yeah. I squoze it myself. Yeah.
But if I was, and that sounds great. I have one that's right down the street from my house. I've just never gone.
Especially with the price of movies, they need to add a little bit.
Something.
You can't just, because the worst thing is paying full price, which nowadays at least you're talking $20 a person without any food or drink. To go to a mediocre movie.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
Which are pretty much the majority of the movies that are out now.
Man. And it's like, if you add a little bit of pomp and circumstance to it, like, we can get drinks here, and it's kind of like, the movie wasn't great, but we had a great night out.
Instead of the old standby of dinner and a movie, it's dinner and a movie together for one price instead of going out to Olive Garden or
and a lot of these
TGI
places
Fridays
have
and then
relatively decent food.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, it's not like getting a nacho plate. It's like getting an actual.
I mean, you get like steak tips and shit.
Right. And I think that's believe me, I think it's a great idea. Personally, for me, I would want the old drive-ins back. But if that's the next step, I think it's really cool. Until hopefully I make $1 million and I can have my own drive-in.
Sure.
Because that's something I would love to have. But Lux leveled, and everyone likes that. Everyone likes that Lux feeling these days. That's where it's all kind of going. Is that like, oh well, you could be here, but for a few more dollars, with the I wonder what the poor people are doing tonight. That's what they want. They want that upgrade. You want it's the same thing that was instilled when First Class was made available. Right. You know what I mean? It's like it gets to people. It's smart marketing.
Sure.
It's very smart marketing.
Somewhere that's hitting with somebody that they're more important because they're sitting.
Well, because everyone wants
sitting up
there. I mean, look at the world in which we live in, where it's like we just want to watch celebrities. We want to see them get knocked down. We want to see all these things. Our worlds revolve around it. Of course, we'd want to be treated that way. Absolutely. At least once or twice, And so that's why the Lux level is so nice. It's like, welcome. Here you are. Enjoy your movie. By the way, here's a footnote.
Oh, you're ushered in. It's like, oh, here's your seat, sir. It's like, see, me, I'm trying to get, when I go out to the movies, as close to like my home viewing experience as possible. That's why when me and my brother went to see Texas Chainsaw in 3D, the new one, we were the only two in the theater. I love that. It's
great.
I have, and that's like you said, that's my dream, having my own movie theater. That and a bowling alley in my house. Those are two things I want.
All right, Nixon.
Come on.
Yeah, I'd want a bowling
alley and a movie theater in my home is like a dream.
All right, wait, what if you could only choose one?
Movie theater.
Okay. That was quick.
And as these things progress, that's what I'm getting close to, like being alone in a theater. Perfect.
Oh, it's awesome. It's
I can take my shoes off, kick my feet up.
It's the best.
I can act like I'm at home, and this is my dream home.
But I know it's a
or drinking while watching the movie. Right. Same thing. It's the little things.
I know it's a common joke around a lot of things, but why is it that when you feel like the previews are just about to come on, you're alone in the theater, you're so very happy that it's just you in there, or just you and a friend, and then someone else comes in there, and why is it that they have to sit 3 chairs down from you?
You know what's even worse? We had a horrible experience. Me and Denise, we went to see, it was I want to say a Wednesday. A Wednesday afternoon, or actually the first showing, it was like Wednesday, 11:30 a.m.
Oh, wow.
We had dropped my car off, and we had like 3 hours to kill. So we went over to see Wreck-It Ralph on a Wednesday morning.
Mm-hmm.
We walk in, theater's empty. This is great. Neither one of us were feeling great. We were overtired because we had gotten up early to drop the car off. I was like, oh, wow, this is gonna be nice. I'm gonna sit, watch the movie, maybe fall asleep, maybe not. I don't know.
You're relaxed,
see how it goes.
yeah.
Previews start. Still alone. This is great. Previews end.
Oh, God.
Here comes 25 kids at a birthday party.
Why are we at Chuck E. Cheese?
No, and the kids are yelling. The parents are taking flash photography during the fucking film. Oh, my God. This is why, and again, this is reason number 472 why I don't leave the home.
Well,
I can't be around. Because it's like,
wait, what was
you
that?
all fucking ruin it.
Well, what was that, 472?
Sure.
I mean, does it really count when all the other ones ahead of that just include people?
They're all people. People ruin life. You're all inconveniencing my world.
Wow.
Seriously.
Thanks, Mike.
Well, imagine how much nicer the world would be if everybody just stayed home.
Well,
think about that. They could all just stay home.
You could be doing the show by yourself, dick.
Come on. You've heard of Skype?
I'm not Skyping with you.
Yes, you are.
You're going to be complaining the whole time.
I'll lounge back.
I'm just
take
only...
my pants off.
Oh, see, that's why we don't do Skype.
This is why there's no webcams on this show.
Oh, you put your damn pants on.
I cannot be responsible with webcams. I feel they're just... And my laptop has one built right into it.
Oh, mine does,
and I'm always
too.
like, I would never want anybody to see me like this.
My phone has Skype.
Yeah,
and I'm
my
like,
phone
why
has
do I
two
want
cameras on my phone.
Why do I want Skype? I don't give a shit.
Front
like
facing,
I'm not
back facing.
And besides, most of the people, it's like, who the hell am I going to video chat with?
What? And that's the other thing. It's like, what? Like, in this day, it amazes me that so many people use this shit, though. Because...
Well,
we've gotten to a point where we lack human interaction. We don't talk on the phone anymore. But for some reason, if we're projecting our image and our voice on a video conference, we feel better about it.
Well, isn't it just because?
I don't get it.
Well, is it more the fact that because you can? It's there because you can do it.
Sure.
I use it because it's an option. It's like if it wasn't an option, you wouldn't think about it.
No,
or you think,
absolutely.
why don't we have that?
But I feel I don't want you to see me right now. Mm-hmm. Like I just woke up. Like most of the time, like this is clean for me.
I know.
And I wouldn't want somebody to see me right now.
You look terrible.
I'm not television ready, as they say.
I really wish we had a limo
partition right here.
Yeah.
We'll set up the old.
It's pretty ugly.
Brady split the wall thing.
Please.
Yes. We'll set up we'll tape the sheet.
Yeah.
But most of the time, if I'm ever okay, perfect example during wrestling pay-per-views or Monday Night Raw or something, and I'm sending you messages and back and forth.
We don't have to.
I'm in my robe, dude, with 14 inches of bedhead.
Right. Oh, I'm laying down in my bed, just watching it, or I'm sitting in the couch, like.
I mean, do I really need to, I got to turn on the light, I got to sit up, and of course, maybe it's just me overthinking that I should have to look good on camera. But of course, this is clearly us just showing our fucking age at this point.
Yeah.
Where the internet is a weird, creepy place that's only used for masturbation.
Masturbation.
Of course,
and
the younger generations
pictures.
have figured out how to make this work for them.
Well, they'll be debating and pissed off about the use of holograms and hoverboards, because I still won't get mine.
No, you won't. Your grandkids will think they're fucking babies' toys. This technology stinks. Meanwhile,
it'll be a
grandpa's like,
it'll be a small Elijah
all
Wood.
I ever wanted.
A small Elijah Wood going, "This is a baby's toy."
Oh, the old wild gunman.
If I was rich, that's another thing. I would have my own drive-in theater, and I have Wild Gunman.
Would you have Wild Gunman? No, I'm not saying not an arcade, but would Wild Gunman be your actual choice? Because I've thought about this. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have an arcade game.
No, my choice would be like would be like the X-Men arcade game because it just brings back the memories of childhood.
See, I would
sitting
have
there
to go
pumping quarters in, or the Simpsons game, pumping quarters into it.
The Simpsons, I got sucked into a lot. I
I
wasn't even terribly a huge Simpsons fan.
No, but I probably spent hundreds of dollars on those games.
I would have to say it would either be one of those Cruisin' USA car games, or like a Lethal Enforcer game with the gun.
So much
I
fun.
love Lethal Enforcer.
Actually,
so much to the point. I actually, when I found Lethal Enforcer, I want to say it was for either Genesis or PlayStation or something, and it came with the gun.
Yeah,
and it didn't work the same as the arcade. It was really bad technology.
Oh, of course.
But I was so into that game that I needed to play it at home.
It was great, but another on the same level, Guilty Pleasure.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a great game, but Revolution X was in like every single arcade you walked into back then. You know, you're just watching it and you're shooting guns as Aerosmith is on in the background.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the coolest thing in the world. Aerosmith is an awesome band. It's like,
and they were machine guns.
They were machine guns and Aerosmith.
It wasn't like you had a
and
six-shooter.
hot chicks.
You had like Terminator guns.
Yeah, and you're like, well, shouldn't this? I don't think they put the right gun on this thing. Like, this is like submachine gun. Like, this is like Duke Nukem. Like, what the hell's going on?
Another one. But Duke Nukem wasn't really huge for the arcade for
Duke
me.
Nukem
That was more Genesis.
Duke Nukem was more of you go home and you play Duke Nukem.
For hours. That or Doom.
And Doom.
Doom.
Girlfriend, Danny still loves Doom. She
Really?
still plays it, yeah. But she plays with all the fucking cheat codes on.
You have to.
No, you don't. That's you do it every now and then, but like, you got to play the game and just play it. Try to beat it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the problem.
It's not like it's Contra. Contra you cannot beat. Contra you cannot beat without the Konami code. But Doom, you could get pretty far. You know, Doom, you could get Duke Nukem, you could still get pretty far. Like you could come close, and most people can beat it. But
that's
it's
really a thing of the past. I mean, do they still do cheat codes on games?
Yeah, somewhat.
Actually, yeah. You know what? I was trying to think while I was speaking. I was thinking because I haven't had an Xbox in probably 2 years. So the last game I really played was GTA 4. And I was thinking, I'm like, I was trying to word it, and they had the codes. Yeah, you get the unlimited life and ammo and stuff.
The funny thing, and I had read this article, but you know, video games back when we were like in the thick of video games, like the big boom of video games. I mean, it's still booming now, but you needed those codes because you couldn't beat the damn games.
Yeah, the Game Genie.
Like, yeah, you needed that because that fucking game was impossible. And the funniest thing about it is, like, you look at a game like I mean, Mario, it ends, but you look at a game like Pac-Man or Tetris or any classic game. There was never an ending to those games. It was
the blocks would just keep falling.
We're just gonna keep making it more difficult until you quit or you die. That is it. Like, there is no ending. You could play for hours and hours and hours and hours. There is no ending to those games. These games nowadays have endings. You go try. Tell some kid these days.
Now.
Yeah, tell some kid these days to try to. You go ahead and try to beat Pac-Man because it just gets faster. That's all it is. It just gets faster until you die, and then you have to do it again.
The blocks start falling faster.
It's like, see you later, kid. There it is. But
Tetris, I remember we had Game Boy when it first came out, and that was like the one game. Tetris was the one game that you could link the Game Boys.
Oh, Tetris is awesome.
And play each other.
Still is awesome.
And I remember when we were kids, we used to take ski trips during Christmas break for school. And me and my brother sitting up in this fucking lodge in Maine, just playing each other on Game Boy with a big cord attached between us.
Oh, they were awesome. And then when they came out the magnifying glasses for your Tetris games,
because they already knew we were burning your eyes out.
Oh yeah, you were killing it. and then forget when Game Boy had Game Boy Color, and I was like, oh my God, they made this even better.
See that?
But I think
that's where the whole hipster marketing of making glasses cool is coming from, because they know the next generation will be blind. They will be blind by 20. I mean,
why are you taking shots at me?
I'm not taking shots at you. I'm saying it's genius marketing on those hipsters' parts, making the glasses cool, selling them all out.
Taking shots.
See that? Yeah. So you think you're going against the man, but you're really just selling out.
You're playing into the man's plans.
Playing into the man's hands by buying those glasses.
Well, fine.
Now the mustache I have no answer for.
Mustache is mine. Everyone else is copying me.
I've been seeing more and more of your mustache on people.
I've seen, in
like the last 2 weeks.
Well, it's funny though because
I've seen it on TV probably half a dozen times.
I went to the mall the other day, and look, I understand. I've seen, that I came out with the shirts of my own thing.
Yeah.
And they were a little different because I'd seen other people coming out with the mustache stuff, but the mustache was different. It was just a regular, a regular mustache that kind of just tailed out. Mine, I curled them at the ends because that's how my mustache is.
Yes.
The other day, I went to the mall and saw people are coming out with the Valentine's things, like the Forever 21 or whatever, have, or whatever store it was. I don't care. But it was one of those types of stores. It was the girl stores, and it said, they mustache you a question, and it's the mustache. This one was, I mustache you to be my Valentine. What mustache do they have?
Yours.
Mine. Now they're all curling over. What the hell?
You're losing it, man.
Why?
You're losing it.
Why am I...
You are losing this battle.
Why am I the trendsetter well after, like...
You had about 6 months to get really famous so it could be yours, and now it's just not.
Someone is following me around and seeing what I'm wearing and doing, and they're just borrowing it.
Again, we're going to go back to it. This is the problem with the internet, because you have to put that shit out there. It's public
bullshit.
now.
This is bullshit. I am getting no reparations.
I'm
getting nothing. I'm getting nothing. I'm still looking
for reparations.
Yes, I am. That's right. I'm a fashion slave. Django!
400 years. No.
No, it's only like 4 years.
4 years of this style, and now you bitches are catching on.
I mean, I will be honest, and the reason buy a t-shirt, please. The reason why I started growing the mustache was, one was laziness. I just wasn't shaving for a while, so
I have that problem.
The ends were going out. The ends were going out. But the other reason was, I saw, and I had known of him, but I saw pictures of Raleigh Fingers.
Okay.
And I said, that's pretty cool. I don't see that very often anymore. You don't see the mustache thing. So I said, I'm going to grow my mustache like that. Raleigh Fingers, why not? He was a great pitcher. I knew of him. I got into him a lot more, and the type of athlete he was, and I thought the whole story between. I love the stupid historical bullshit with.
Go on. I know nothing of Raleigh Fingers except for the mustache.
It was whatever the team was, it was on the A's, but I can't remember what year, 76 or 77.
Sure.
Sure. The owner said, I'll hand out an extra, like, I think it was like $300 or something to any player who can grow a mustache for the team. It was like a big team building thing, whatever it was.
So they were basically the originators of Movember.
Basically, yeah.
Without the gimmick around
Without the gimmick. And so they all did it, but they, a lot of them cut theirs off. Raleigh kept his, but he was the only one that really did the whole circle, and then that's what he became known for. He still has it today. So I was like, well, if he could do it, and his looks really cool, and I'll do that. So that's where I got mine from. And there's only like 3 or 4 people every now and then, and they're usually just older guys that'll say Raleigh Fingers. Everything else is basically like Captain Jack, which he didn't have one, or Willy Wonka, which he didn't have one, or Snidely Whiplash is the only other one that's like acceptable. Unless someone said Dick Dastardly, but no one says Dick Dastardly because no one remembers it of Wacky Races, which was an excellent show. But I started doing that like 4 or 5 years ago, and then.
I think the problem probably was stuff like Movember, because Movember it made it cool to spend a month growing a mustache, and then people that could grow facial hair pretty quickly started getting creative with it.
Right.
And then it's like, and then of course, all you need is like one person to fucking compliment you on a Facebook picture. And it's like, well, I'm going to keep this.
I got to do this all the time.
So that hot girl said I'm cute.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
And
and that's all it took. And that is how trending topics begin.
It's like Movember. I think Movember is a great cause.
It's a great cause.
It's excellent.
I've done.
I support everyone to do it.
I've done it for a couple of years. Never raised one red cent. Actually, I got $5 the first year.
Really?
Yeah, for my dad.
And I thought to myself I should do it. I'll always promote it. I've never signed up for it, but obviously I'm not gonna.
That's because it requires you shaving at the end of the month.
Right, but I'm not gonna do that. But every day is my friggin' Movember.
Right.
It's like, believe me, kids.
So just give Billy money whenever you see him.
Just give me money now, and I will donate it.
It will go to a good cause.
I'll donate it to charity.
That's all we're gonna say.
I will actually donate it to charity. But yeah, it's just, why is it such a fad? It's like, it's great and it sucks. Because then it's like, I don't want to get lumped in with those people that are, it's like, oh, he's doing that because, it's the hip thing to do. It's
Right.
like, I grew it because I actually really like it. Like, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And if that's the only thing about me that I'm going to, like, take the time with, and that's, and
you weren't following to begin with, so getting lumped in with them is kind of fucking annoying.
But now to be lumped in, and then it's like part of that, because I'll go down, I'll be around the garden or something, and I literally get stopped and people want to take pictures with me. But then it's like, well, you're taking pictures with me, but in the back of my head I'm going, I'm not one of them though.
See, that's kind of like when I was in Disney and my last day there, I was wearing your stash shirt.
Yeah.
And I was getting more almost as many compliments on the stash shirt as I was on "We Just Got Engaged" pin I was wearing. There was a point where they were running neck and neck, and it's like people had you had no idea what that was.
No,
that was your shirt. It wasn't like I went to some Hot Topic or some shit and bought a mustache shirt.
Right.
That was from you.
That's my shirt and it's my face, and no one knows.
And no one knows. Everybody thought I was just being fucking hip, I guess, or weird.
Well, and that's the funny thing too, is
because
I gave those shirts out to other people that we work with,
right?
And they've gotten the same compliments and stuff, and a lot of people don't understand that it's not something that you got at Newbury Comics or Hot Topic.
The trend.
Right. It's not. It's completely different.
We're doing it as a Facebook goof with you.
Right. It's fun,
It wasn't about me being hip or cool. It was about me getting a picture of Mickey Mouse with Billy's shirt. That's what it was all about.
Which was awesome. That it's because
the shirt was at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was down. It was
awesome.
It was an indie. Yeah, and I mean, just seeing that and seeing it's being used by everyone around. Around our work area, and it's just a funny thing, because is it a little narcissistic? Yeah, because I think I'm funny, but that's basically what it is. It wasn't.
What isn't these days?
Yeah,
we as on a whole are very. The whole premise of Facebook and Twitter,
absolutely, we're all narcissistic.
Is look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I want attention. I want attention. It doesn't matter what we're posting about. We could be posting about the most noble of things.
It's as long as I'm posting.
We want the likes.
Yeah.
It's like we could be going for something very noble, very caring, but you better like mine and not this other guy's. It's all about us as people. I don't know.
And yet we talk about this on our radio show.
We do. But you know what? It is the truth. If nothing else, we keep it fucking honest here.
Oh yeah.
I know that when I'm sitting there posting stuff, it's for my own personal gain. We spent almost all day yesterday posting bullshit about our goddamn podcast here.
Yeah.
Was that for anybody else but our own personal gain?
Absolutely not.
Listen to us, follow us, go to iTunes, go to
fun.
Stitcher,
Yeah.
go to Spreaker, download the app.
But again, it's
comment,
and it's all in fun. And the only difference is between people like us doing that stuff. And yes, it's self-promotion, but we're not going to get discouraged if you're not liking us or you're not doing.
Oh, we'll still be here.
We'll still be here, basically, because you know what?
Because we're stubborn.
Whoever's out there listening, it's like, we appreciate that you're listening. We love that you're listening. Maybe
think
you really
it's awesome.
Maybe you really enjoy it. I love the fact that people do listen.
I think it's fucking awesome.
but
I
we
get
do
very
this-
excited. Like, and it's a little thing, I know, because everybody with a microphone and an internet connection is on iTunes. But when I got that email saying that we were accepted on iTunes, I was kind of excited about that.
I was excited, and then I went, "Oh man, we gotta actually make like good shows now."
You think so?
But we just kind of
we just gotta
threw
be
that out the
us.
window. But again, that's the thing is like, this to us is just fun because we're gonna do it no matter what.
Right.
Because we'll listen to it. Our girlfriends will listen to it.
Until somebody
that's
pays us to say something here,
Right.
it's just for us.
Right. And until
And
someone
for you, if you enjoy it, great. Fucking A.
Thank you.
Thank
But
you for listening.
That's
We do honestly appreciate it, and we have had texts and Facebook messaging back and forth when we break 500 listeners and stuff like that. It's like, hey, look at
risky.
right. We do. We feel exact, and that's one of the goofs is we feel like the Blues when they went from Don't Buy to Risky, and they threw the big fucking party on Arrested Development, and they're all risky.
That's what we are.
Look at Banner, Michael.
That's what we are, baby. That's what we are.
That's exactly what it is. It's
Cha 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 cha.
I cannot wait for that to return. I really can't. I'm looking forward to Arrested
Oh,
Development
and
coming back.
we will live tweet that, and we will talk about it. And,
Do you know?
it's
And
gonna be fun.
well, something we should do. This is something
We gotta
should-
actually. Well, before you say it, we gotta actually come up with like good shows here.
Oh, sure. Well, we're always brainstorming.
We're on iTunes, so we gotta
Yeah,
come
we're
up with
gonna
good
do something.
shows. So anyway, go ahead. So what we're gonna do?
We gotta do something good. Years ago, probably 2003, 2004.
That is years
maybe
ago.
I don't know. Fuck.
That's 10 years.
When was the Rest of Them on the air?
2003,
2004?
2003, yeah.
Okay, around then. It was around their third season.
Yeah.
I made a drinking game. It's not the most scientific of drinking games. It's just a list of references, and whenever these references happen, you drink. Me and my buddy have tried it 3 times.
Is one of the phrases in there, I think I made a big mistake?
Of course it is.
Yes. Has to be. It's the most used line in the whole show.
No, you know what? You know which one really killed us? Because, like I said, we've tried it. Me and my buddy have tried it 3
Michael?
times, and we got. I think the furthest we got was 4 episodes, but we were almost knocking on death's door at 4 episodes. Banana.
Really?
If anybody says banana, you drink.
Banana said that much?
Think about it.
Well, I know the
There's
banana
always
stand
money in
and
the
that
banana
one.
stand.
I know that episode there, but
Especially in the earlier episodes, there was one where Job was he wasn't allowed to have his frozen banana.
yeah.
And that whole episode, Mr. Banana Grabber, and then Mr. Banana.
that's right.
Holy shit!
Well, you could do. Well, maybe we'll do a whole
So-
show dedicated to that. But I would think Michael would be probably the worst word.
I don't know if I had that in there, but I'm sure some variation.
You know
of
what
that.
I mean? Like if you just said Michael, anytime someone says Michael, take a drink.
It was a really long
you'd
list.
be
to the
dead
point
halfway
that-
through the show.
That almost
The
we
one
basically
episode.
had to. The whole time anybody was talking, we were drinking.
Wow.
So it's one of those. It's a fun game.
Maybe we'll come up with a Mike and Billy drinking game where every time we change the subject, you have to take a drink.
So basically the same thing what I just said. As long as we're talking, you're drinking.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
I dig it.
So yeah,
So
we'll do that.
I think we're wrapping up here. I think we're feeling that moment.
Yeah.
But, before we go, one last thing, and I know I teased this. It feels like forever ago. But back on episode 10.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about this.
Yeah, I know you did. Back on episode 10, those of you who listen to it know that the first 25 minutes was spent me...
Was it 25 minutes?
25 minutes. I thought it was 10. And even in the moment, I thought it was 10 because I make reference to that in episode 10.
25 minutes.
But it was 25 minutes of me...
No wonder why you got this.
very obscenely, but honestly, tearing down a couple of Best Buy employees that had ruined my days. So, last week, a phone call, a number calls my cell phone. Didn't know it, ignored it, sent it a voicemail. And this is the voicemail that played, and I've listened to it. So I want you to hear it. Let me see. Put that on speaker. Here, hold that up to your microphone and push play.
Yes, sir. This is. I'm calling from Best Buy, corporate liaisons, and I see here you have a Yelp complaint, and we would need you to remove that due to slanderous undertones. And if that is not removed within the next 24 hours, we will have to pursue slanderous comments on your Facebook profile. Because that's how we roll, son.
Yeah.
There is no way that's real.
Now I know he said Yelp, but the story he's referring to was the same story I told on the show. Now, first of all, I want to say I don't believe that was someone from corporate liaisons from Best Buy.
You would not have that slack-jawed yokel calling up someone on a voicemail. Secondly, how do they get your phone number?
That's the interesting thing.
And thirdly, if you were actually supposed to take this seriously, who says that's how we roll? Especially if it's corporate.
First of all, what corporate entity threatens you with naughty comments on your Facebook page?
Yeah.
We're going to badmouth you on Facebook. Are you?
If every single...
I would welcome... You know me.
Oh, totally.
I would welcome a Facebook fight with these people.
This coming from...
I bait them all the time, and they on Twitter, and they always like, how... Oh, it was one of the things, because when I teased this on the Twitter page, of course, I tagged Best Buy in it, and I get back the same standard response from their customer service. How may we be of assistance? So, of course, I wrote back to them, well, someone claiming to be from your corporate office left me a threatening voicemail. How do you troubleshoot that? And they're like, well, let's get all the information.
If this were real and Best Buy were going to go after every single person, and or all those companies would go after every single person that badmouthed them on the air, it would be like the closing scene of Jay and Silent Bob. It'd be going through moviepoopshoot.com and just going and beating up commentators.
And the funny thing was, before doing anything else online, I went to that Yelp page. And this was the one about the fucking retard in Burlington who took 45 minutes and called me a liar.
Oh yeah.
That one. It wasn't even the chick from the other night. This was the first one.
Oh, the very first one.
I'm still waiting for that dumb bitch to fucking call me up before I get on to quote Dennis Miller, I don't want to go on a rant here, but I went to the Yelp page and it's nothing but negative comments.
Oh, of course. Because really, to be completely honest, Yelp is just there, or any of those review things, they're just there for negative reviews.
The funny thing was, I left that review back in October. And
now it's getting...
That's the reason I'm playing this on the show. If I got this back in October, it would have nothing to do with the show.
Right.
But the fact that this came in a week after I posted that episode seems a little too fucking convenient. So, first of all...
Something smells fishy.
First of all, Mr. Corporate Liaison, thank you for listening. We appreciate your clicks, each and every one of them, because I'm sure you listen to the show at least 4 times to get really pissed off about it.
Gotta be.
Okay? Second of all, fuck yourself. And your mother.
Aw.
And your sister.
Hey.
Okay? What? You heard his voice. You know he does.
Right.
Now,
if Jeff Foxworthy,
if we had some real production, I would have the dueling banjos playing right now. Thank you. And furthermore, if you want to go to war, I welcome it. Just like Antonio Montana says.
Oh, God.
You want to go to war?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I'll show you who you're fucking with, man. Facebook.com/The Mike and Billy Show.
Yeah, I'll take on Facebook.
Bring it on,
I'll
sir.
take on Best Buy.
Bring it on.
That'd be fun.
What could you possibly say? Because, and again...
How is it slanderous when it's the truth?
That's just it. That's just it.
It's your horrible...
All joking aside.
That's the people that you've hired to work at your establishment.
I know on episode 10, I used quite a bit of salty language.
You did.
To get my point across.
You were a salty, salty sailor.
But A, I didn't say anything that wasn't untrue. Okay, and B, the online, if you read, and I'll actually post when I post this show up on our Facebook page, I will post a link to the Yelp review.
Yes.
Not one curse, and it's very respectful of just. This is what happened. It's a factual breakdown. It's basically like a police report.
Right.
There's no opinions.
Yeah.
It's just a breakdown of the events that took place that led to ruining my afternoon. That's it. So if you're going to call up, and like I said, I don't believe this is corporate liaison. Who it is, I don't know. I think it's pretty fucking funny.
It is.
I think it's pretty fucking funny.
Well, because in my head, we're gonna go to war with Best Buy, so I imagine like a guy dressed up like Mel Gibson in Braveheart, but it's like blue and yellow face paint,
like with the big ticket on his shirt,
and like the khakis. Oh, that'd be awesome.
The shittiest part about all this is, I am actually a Best Buy supporter. Like I buy 90% of my movies at Best Buy.
See,
I'm in Best Buy on a weekly basis buying new movies.
See, I'm not. I'm a Newbury Comics guy.
I know you are, but they're right down the street from me. It's a convenience factor more for me.
Yeah.
But it's so weird. Like I got almost all the electronics in my house from Best Buy. Okay, so this isn't me coming out against Best Buy because I like them as a company.
Right.
Okay.
It's just
and that whole rant was about how much of a fan I am of this promotion they were running, the $5 DVD coupon.
And how
I use it all the time.
And how into it you are.
I use it all the time. I'm a big fan of their promotions. I'm a Best Buy supporter. Okay, this wasn't me against Best Buy. This was me against a dumb person.
But again,
singular.
Again. However, I will stay. And this is me talking.
Yes.
The mustache one. I will say that that's the one complaint you always get about Best Buy, and certain chains like that, but Best Buy in particular, is the people that they hire.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing.
It's one of those things, though. You almost feel bad for them because they kind of they're probably gotten to a point they got to take what they can get because because anyone with a brain, physical shopping of the physical store aspect has really kind of gone out of shopping. Most people shop online, so you can't imagine that they can offer competitive wages.
Right.
So they got to almost take the best
whatever they can get. And anyone with a brain or that has the know-how of a lot of the equipment that you can buy there and whatnot, the technology that's there, affordable to you, a lot of those people are in other better paying jobs, or they're doing something that's, it's not selling computers at Best Buy.
You're not jocking a register.
Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong.
God bless you for working. But you're not leeching off the fucking system. I appreciate that.
It's those people at Best Buy, and it's not just Best Buy, it's a lot of others. There's no pride in there, and there's no pride in the work, and that's just what life is become these days with this generation. But it's funny.
Best
Buy hire better people.
Yeah, well, or
that actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I guess train them better, maybe. I don't know.
Hire human beings, actual people that have brains and not Neanderthals.
You could try, I guess. But I guess the funny fact of all this is this was never me against Best Buy. It was always just me against
the one person.
Because one or two individuals.
No, but even when you originally said that story, the newer story.
Yeah.
You said the manager came over and he was great.
He was a perfect gentleman.
And hire guys like that.
Yeah.
Like that's a guy who.
That's also why he made it through the grace period into the management role.
Right.
He probably was hired 3 days ago as a cashier and was like, "Oh, this guy has half a fucking brain.
Wait a minute,
Let's fast track him.
This guy's way too overqualified for
Let's fast
register.
track him onto the manager training program." But. It's just I thought that was utterly hilarious. So again,
you want to go to war, Best Buy? We're going to war this Sunday. Come down to the Civic Center. Steel cage death match. It's you and me. We're gonna get it on like neck bone.
Will my rewards points be active for that?
You're damn right it will.
But yeah, I find it utterly hilarious. So I guess to wrap it up, thank you for listening, Mr. Corporate Liaison. I'm sure those clicks helped our numbers immensely. And by all means, feel free to leave comments on our Facebook page or our Twitter page.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Please
Tell us we suck.
Yeah.
I don't care.
This guy clearly is hankering to be. What did he say it was?
A hanker for a hucker. What?
What did he say? I left. Was it not scandalous?
No,
what was the word he used?
slanderish.
Slanderous. Yes, slander-ish. Slander-ish.
Slander.
I want you to first of all, I want you to Google slander-ish, sir. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Then go and take your slander-ish comments and leave them on our Facebook page,
please,
because I would love to read that.
Please.
And I would love to put a face to the stupidity.
Yes.
Yes?
A lot of banjo music.
Yes. Anyway, the rest of you that have listened, thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
We don't just love the people that hate us.
We love ourselves too.
We do. But absolutely. While you're waiting to see if that guy's going to comment, why don't you go comment?
Yeah.
Yes. Facebook.com/Mike and Billy Show. We're on Twitter @Mike and Billy, and you can find our individual pages throughout those as well. And thanks for listening again. Episode 12. Another one in the books. I'm going to go hopefully fit the rest of the Bruins game in on a tape delay.
All right.
My phone's been buzzing, which means we're either losing really bad or winning really good. I'm hoping for the latter.
That's some good English.
More gooder? Was that appropriate?
Yeah. Better.
More gooder.
That's gooder.
That's gooder. Shut your face.
Thank you, everyone.
You're someone who fucking spell checks people on the internet, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a grammar Nazi.
You really are. All right, thanks everybody. This is Mike Webb.
This is Billy Finnegan.
And we will see you again next week.
Yeah.
For lucky number 13.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.